Hello, World of Tank Blitzers. It's a Littlefinger. Hey, today doing a full tank review on the IS-3 Defender. This is a Tier 8 Soviet heavy tank. It is a lot like the IS-3, but as far as the Defender series goes, it is an autoloader, 3 shells in the magazine. So interesting play style for a heavy tank. We'll get into that as we go through the review, but you can see typical pike nose, and you've got the spaced armor on the sides, and a lot of troll bounces for this tank indeed. If you're liking the content, guys, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Hit that notification. Don't forget to leave a comment and share the video wherever you can on social media too, if you would. So, back in stores, we've got the full all three 20,000 gold, the Unstoppable Defenders. So individually, we've got the Defender Mark 1, which is relatively new to the store. Why? The price is still quite high. It was for sale for 15,000 gold back in February. I did a review of it back then. If you want to check it out, look below for a link to that video. Also did a review back in February on the T28 Defender. It was for sale for 8,500 gold. So they've brought the price down on that tank as well. Interesting that the Defender is still sitting at 8,500 gold. Of the three, it is my least favorite, and you know, I'll definitely go into reasons why as we go through this review. Obviously, no need for camo. Their camo is unique, and you're going to have to purchase your equipment slots. So, speaking about that, let's just run through how I've got it set up. Repair kit, engine, power boost, and the multi-purpose, which is pretty standard for how I run all my tanks. Extra combat rations, improved fuel, and condensed milk. You can see here we've actually gotten some ammo open, 18, 9, and 3. And then as far as equipment goes, calibrated shells. The pen on this is not great for a heavy tank, especially when you're up against those tier 9 heavies. So that's why I'm running calibrated shells. Plus we've got heat, which gives us 10% bonus. So we're getting that up to 297. Running defense system, improved optics, enhanced gun lane drive to get this aim time down to 6.4. You've got great shell velocity in this tank, so the supercharge really does not help all that much. So you're going to get much more out of the EGLD. This is one that you know, I could go either way on. You've got good armor, so using 4% additional is certainly going to help. For right now, though, I've been running the additional 102 hit points, getting our total up to 1802. Engine accelerator is the obvious choice here. And then, you know, the biggest controversial equipment slot here is the vertical stabilizers versus refined gun. You're going to be playing this tank on the front lines. Chances are you might be moving quite frequently. I find myself to be stopped and aiming in this tank more so that's why I'm running the refined gun. And then I've got toolbox and consumable delivery system. So just real quick on blitzstars.com, I've got all three pulled up here just so that we can see the difference between the APCR, the heat, and the HE. 221 for your APCR, 270 for heat, and 61 for your pen on HE. 400, 340, and 500, and obviously this is your damage per minute with each of those. So, you know, 1861, we're sitting right in line with all of these other IS-3. Very similar guns, very similar statistics. So if you're familiar with these tanks, then you'll fit right in with the Defender. I also wanted to compare it to the T28 Defender, which is the TD, and the Defender Mark 1, which is obviously the medium. You can see we've actually got less pen, which is, to me, surprising, especially on the Defender Mark 1, because we are a heavy tank and we're on the front lines and we need that pen number. You're going to be doing the same amount of damage as the Defender. But the one thing I do want to point out is your entry clip, 7.5 seconds on the reload. That seems like a really long time for an autoloader. Even the Defender's lower at 6.7 seconds. And what I like the most about the Mark 1 is 2 seconds. So you've got 4 shots. So that's 6 seconds. You can get 4 shots out. You can get back into cover and wait your 16.3 seconds for the reload. Obviously, you're not doing near as much damage, um, but again, with the auto-loading system, it's like you want to get out there, get your shots in, and then pull back to cover, because we've got a 23.68 second reload in the Defender. So when you're on the front line and you've taken your 3 shots, you have to wait an exorbitantly long amount of time before you can shoot again. So very similar statistics on all of these tanks, the heavy tanks that is, as far as like the IS-5, IS-3. Very similar gun. You do have 7 degrees of gun depression. 40 kilometers per hour is your top speed, so it moves very nicely for a heavy tank. Your effective horsepower per ton is 14, so it's going to get up to speed pretty good, not great. Your traverse speed here is 26. You know, it's a little bit slower than the IS-3. But serviceable in the field for sure. 165% credit coefficient. And these other ones are actually a little bit higher. Turret armor 249. We'll look at this here in a second. 172, 100, and then 110, 90, and 60 on the hull. So you're doing much better than say the IS-3 or even the IS-5. So you're going to get a lot of troll bounces in this tank. And then let's just switch over to the armor inspector, and right off the bat you're going to see dark red spaced armor around the gun mantlet, and then of course on the sides. But what to note is how angled the hull is inside this spaced armor. So anyone shooting you straight through here, this is super thick. If you are shooting at this tank, this is where you want to aim, guys, down here below the tracks, right? Also, you've got just shy of 200 mil on the lower hull, the upper hull there 223 effective. And then, with the rounded edges to the turret, it's going to bounce quite a bit. If we take away this and go over to pen, this is with an IS-3 shooting you guys. So, you can't really side scrape in this tank because that just makes the side even weaker if you're coming off the turret like this. Really what you want to do is kind of just wiggle back and forth as much as you can, or get to a hold down position like that. Alright guys, so first battle here on a dead rail. And as a heavy tank, obviously you want to be on the front lines, and quite honestly that helps you out in terms of the aiming on this gun. It is horrendous, which is why I like both the Defender and the Mark I as better tanks than this. But you'll see how quickly we're up to top speed here, 40 kilometers per hour. So it does allow you to get into positions that you want to be in quite quickly. That can be a problem, obviously, with an autoloader. Get you into problems as well. So keep that in mind. You have to be very, very aware of all of the tanks around you. You cannot afford to be getting shot from multiple directions in this tank. And right off the bat here, you see their IS-3D has pushed really fast. I'm going to slow play this a little bit and just try to figure out where might be a safe place that I can pull up on this hill. And our IS-3D there to the left, he's taking some shots. He's just sitting on the hill. But look at this aim time. And quite honestly, that was pretty lucky that went in. Probably 7 times out of 10 you miss that shot. And so we've got all 4 of us down here, so I'm thinking, alright, they've obviously got some meds up high. The IS-3D is backing up, which is a good sign that he's on a reload. So, 24 seconds for him to reload, and like I'm saying, there's the aim. I was aiming to the left side of the tank, and that shot hit on the right side. So you just got to be a little bit extra patient, and like I said, you want to be up close so you don't have to worry as much about that dispersion. But now we're in a good spot here. as long as that T-28 that I had first shot isn't shooting at us, those other TDs can't get around and shoot me where I was. So I figured this is the time to go ahead and push. And alright, so there they've moved on over to here. So let's work on, we'll see how difficult the pen is, even on a tier 8 TD. We have to switch over to heat. And so now again, we're working ridgeline, we're working our gun depression. And it looks like the IS has gone AFK, but I would prefer to be shooting the IS-5, but obviously he's a better player. He is a little bit lower. I can't get my shot in, so we are going to push shots into an AFK player. Now, I don't want this IS-5 to get around me, but I want to stay as low as possible while I am reloading. And we're lucky to bounce that first shot. And again, just look at how long you have to aim in this. There's one. Now we've got almost 7 seconds for our next shot. There's two. Alright, can we get the third one to go in? It's 3 on 2. And if you notice, by our spawn, number 2 is our TD, which is a completely useless position for the 2 tanks that are still alive. And he's still not moving. So I'm full health at this point, up against a half health IS-5, and I am on a long reload, and I'm thinking I can get this shot into the hatch. Yeah, that pretty much was almost outside where I was even aiming. So I take another shot. Thankfully there's some distance. You know, when you get face hugged, and this is when I realize that it's 2 on 2 now, and our TD still hasn't moved, that I better take that guy out before he finishes me off. And now our TD is finally on the move, now that there's only 1 tank left. And I am obviously a one-shot. We managed to bounce the first one. Alright. Can we get another bounce in here? I'm going for that hatch again. We bounced it. That's not good. And yeah, he's gonna get the kill shot that time. And yeah, let's check out our TD here, see what he's doing, and we'll fast forward this because the guy finds another ridge just to sit on, and he's just gonna sit here, and he's gonna continue to sit here. I'm like, dude, had you know, 30 seconds, a minute earlier, left your perch and come and help us. He's in a TD with no camo. I mean, I understand some of you guys that don't run camo on your mediums or maybe even your heavies, but yeah, let's wait until 1 minute left to attack a one-shot IS-5 when you are full health. So this is just word to warning you guys that you cannot rely on your teammates. And it was at this point I figured the IS-5 was probably going to get around him here. Thankfully he's not. And 354 and 1 kill is his only shot of the game, guys. Yeah, what a patient player though, to sit there the entire game and not get a single shot in. But we end up doing 3,000 damage, just over 1,000 EXP. So here at Port Bay, as the second game, we are bottom tier supremacy. And this is one of those games where we do have a decent team and everybody works together. So we've been struggling with a lot of really lopsided games lately. So off to the left we go. You can see this painfully long reload in action. It's like we can almost get to the road up here without even being fully loaded. That's pretty crazy. But what I like to do in a tank, a heavy tank that does not have super great gun depression, is kind of pushed down onto this ridge line a little bit lower here. That gives us some elevation over anybody that's in the creek, and it also gives us the ability to sneak and peek-a-boom around the corner. But right now I'm sharing it with this Mod 1. And you can see how woefully off target that shot was without stopping to aim. But he's going to give me the opportunity here to stop and aim. So we do get that one to go in. And now the Mod 1 is taking up all of the room here. Going to push up and try to take a shot on the Leopard here. But again, not anywhere even close. Not even close. So now we've got the ability here to back up and get to complete safety. Unfortunately, that Mod 1, I can't do anything until I finish this super long reload. Don't think he expected the Lova to push on down on him like that. But we'll get that one to finish the Lova there. It's a low damage kill. We still got 2 shots to go. 7.5 seconds does seem like a long time when you're waiting for that. And there's the kill shot. Alright, so we can just wait here for our reload. We're at safety. And this is key to this tank, is being in places where you can reload in safety. There goes the Leopard on the left, so things are looking good for us at this point in time. As we come over the hill, we see the Object 704 shoot, so we know it's safe to cross over full speed ahead. A shot and a ram, over 1,000 damage into the RHM, and Prosciutto finishes him off. So it's 5 on 3. I'm gonna say soon to be 5 on 2, 4 on 3, and I'm gonna go back and work on this AMX. Got 2 shots loaded. I know he's got a super weak side. You see the speed of the tank here. I've got some help. There we go, 540 into the side. And he's finished off. So, straightforward game there, but hopefully you get a sense of finding locations where you can be and where you can back off for that full 24-second reload, and then you can, stick your nose out a little bit and get those big shots in, hopefully up close and personal, so you don't have to worry too much about the aiming on it. Alright, so final game here on Fort Despair, and this is a little bit more in line with what I think everyone kind of feels the IS-3D should be like. It can certainly be a bully as a top tier tank. And, I didn't think our team was really made for going heavy lines. One of the things with the ISs, with the pike noses, I am not a fan of going heavy lines. It's just not a tank you can reliably side scrape in. Basically, your only weapon there kind of is the peek-a-boom, and it just doesn't work out against other heavies. So we are going to rush on into B here, and I've already noticed the blaze over there behind that rock. So I'm expecting him to poke out at us. There he is. And look at this. First shot sets a fire, 520 damage. He misses in return, and we cap out B. So this is when we notice the Rudy here, and I was expecting the T-49 to circle around the other side and not let this Rudy get away. But this is kind of what running after mediums looks like here. We're able to get one shot in the backside. shot from behind here. So, like I said, want to get to a place where we can find some cover. This is about as best as I could figure out, as we're going to put our last shell into the Tiger. Left ourselves a little bit too close to that opening there. But here we go. You know, we can just sit pretty here. And wait for this reload. And quite honestly, you know, it's the dispersion that makes this tank my least favorite of the three. I prefer the Defender over this. Primarily, you know, it's just the accuracy, and then you've got heat as your premium. So I'm trying to get myself in between the guy in KV4. Let the KV4 do some shooting, but try to keep him alive as well. So obviously now he's on a reload, so are we. And he shoots straight in the middle of that pike nose and bounces us. We're reloaded now, and he's let us get some distance so we can get our shot down into the pike nose. And can we get one more for the kill? Yep, there it is for the kill. So just shy of 3k damage and a kill. And kind of just shows you the bully nature of what this tank can be in the right situations. So 85,000 credits there is not too bad. 1169 in EXP. So a very worthy competitive tank of all of the IS lines. You know, it's very similar to all of them. But again, my least favorite of the three. So leave my comments below and tell me, you know, did you pick these three up? Did you already own some? Which one do you like best? I'm interested to hear your thoughts. So with that, guys, have fun out there. Stay safe, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.